All right, everyone, it's my fault. We have been talking and I am at fault. We just got into the discussion. And so, my apologies to everyone. I would like you to meet Daisy. And Daisy, you and I were talking here before we went on because
Mm.
I was the one who held us up. That we go back, I guess, almost 5+ years. We go back to the Facebook days.
We do. We actually go back a good while, which is funny because it's, like the thing we talked about with the radio, you just loop around, and you make certain connections at certain times and things just fall into place. How funny that we pair up back up again now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just meant to be.
I'll tell you, the Cosmic Highway is
Mhm.
quite the thing. Daisy and I were talking the years that I spent in research of Nibiru, really learning about photography, aerial photography, and that began to, for me, Daisy, came to a place where I was recognizing changes in the sky.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
whether it's Nibiru, whether it's a brown dwarf, or whether it's geoengineering, our skies are changing. And that's how you and I got to know each other.
That's so true. That is so funny because honestly, I felt the same way. Like as you've noticed with my paintings, I'm really good with color. I notice color. I've studied art my whole life, guys. It's been like over 15 plus years. I went to college for it. And that's what caused me to notice that there was something wrong with the sky was the colors and the textures and the way it looked. It was just like, this isn't the same. This, from when I was a child to even now, the difference is insane. And I don't think I would have noticed any other way if I wasn't, an artist.
Kind of give a little bit of your background because, what people don't realize is that this awakening, it's probably the most blind that I've ever seen because it doesn't look at color, it doesn't look at education, it doesn't look at any of that. What it does, though, is on the individual. So a little bit about your background because I don't think people realize you're an artist, right?
Yes, that's true. I did, as I stated, I went to school for art therapy. I've been painting since I was born, pretty much. It was one of those things where I just knew it when I was really little. I was like, I'm an artist and it's all I'll ever be, but I'm okay with it. And luckily, I had parents that were really accepting and cool about it, and they were like, "Chase your dreams, honey." So I was like, "All right," So
Excellent.
I've been painting. I'll show you. I have one right here.
Why don't we
I've
show some of the people look at this? By the way, I already bought one of her art pieces,
been,
so I got it, folks. And
He's already claimed one, so you guys can't have that one.
you know what I love about is your colors, the expression. Because colors is a language. It's an expression of emotion. Oh, that's cool.
That one goes in my kitchen.
There's a lot of women I think that would identify with that.
Right? I know. I get a lot of compliments about that one, and it's funny that I even still have it because
Yeah.
so many people were like, "I want it," you know.
So,
And it's
folks, I got the one with the UFO. Look at that one.
it's Doctor Who.
I love it.
Yeah,
You
he's
have
really.
a gifting.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I could give back to the world in my own special way, because I
Yeah.
really, it's disheartening sometimes because you think I'm an artist, it's not good enough, or people won't accept it, or they won't understand. But people are getting it, they do. They get me.
Oh, I
So
want that one is cool too. Let's talk about
yeah,
that one.
that
That's
one it
good
was
stuff.
just that actually gonna be. I'm working on a merch label as well, guys. I got
Wow.
my own merchandise by hand. I hand press them and everything myself, and that's gonna be one of
Excellent.
our logos. Is we're gonna do the Eye Galaxy, and yeah, this one I love the one that's hanging up right here too. I love that one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, they're cool.
And
Thank you for
so,
letting me show them.
oh, absolutely. Listen, just, I think sometimes the subject of Nibiru, Planet X, is been hijacked. Um,
Mhm.
there are those who use it for, well, a sundry of reasons and purposes.
Yes.
Um, And what I got so disappointed is that when you brought in real science, Claudia is a good example. In fact, I sent an email out to her to see if she would come on here, and her experience was one that just grieved me. And what I realized is that there is foundation to this. Listen, I brought this for us. So if you read the Kolbrin Bible and you read the section in here on the destroyer, right? Mm-hmm. That was kind of my first, introduction that there was documents, records of a past time documenting a passing of something in the heavens, right?
I agree.
And so when I started doing most of my photography back in 2012 through 2000, and I still do some, I don't do as much anymore. What I saw, Daisy, was the sky was just, it was not the normal sky. Now, you live in New York, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Okay, kind of tell me what you see it as, because you've been at this as long as I have.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And as we had spoke before, I really don't believe that I would have noticed it, if I wasn't an artist or I found out in my own special way. But as you stated, you found out or you learned about these things because of the Kolbrin Bible or, things like that. And I've always been a big fan of documentaries. And I was always the kind of person that was like, I need more, like I'm thirsty for more information. I want to learn more. I need to know more. So once I started reading the Book of Enoch and all these other things, it was like, how can we deny this? How can we deny that our actual past is being hidden from us, or that the reality of this universe in general is being hidden from us? How can we doubt that when there's still articles and papers, hidden from us that we can't see, all the papers in the Vatican that nobody knows about, all the things hidden under the Sphinx that we're not supposed to see, all these back doors that we don't know about, but they know about them. It's like, just show us, just tell us, we can handle it. Like, I'm ready for this. Come on. And every time I see like a UFO thing or any little thing, I'm like, it's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to be in our lifetime that something epic happens and something big comes our way. I feel it. I know it in my heart, and I know so many other people do.
I think we're all feeling that, I mean, like they just announced today, or I think it was Sunday yesterday, that they said that they found in the chamber of the pyramid now that the meteorite throne. I mean,
oh my gosh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we are getting back to what was legend is now becoming fact, where myth is now merging into reality.
Right. And it's just crazy. Like I did but to answer your question, sorry, the skies are just crazy. It's been wild because the chemtrails are just ridiculous, and I can tell they're fake clouds. You can tell they're fake clouds. You know a cloud from a fake cloud. You can just see the difference. I hope that people can by now, and then the fact that they're literally categorizing and logging new clouds and new types of clouds. Is that not a red flag to anybody? Like, did they not think like this might be a problem? They might be fibbing. We're seeing it come out of airplanes, but we're like, oh, it's a new cloud. That's all.
I mean, you stop and think about that. I love the logic of that. So we're classifying new clouds. I mean, it's like, haven't we looked up as long as we've been here? I mean, you would think that is an excellent point.
It's just ridiculous. And the colors too, seriously, like some of the sunsets we've gotten here have been so beautiful and so colorful that it literally looks like the sky could be on fire because it's all covered with clouds. But then you have the pinks and the oranges and the reds, and I've literally had to paint, I'm pretty sure, like one or two of our sunsets because they're just so colorful and ridiculous. It's like, it's so gorgeous, but at the same time, it's so frightening. It can make you feel small at the same time because you're like, what is going on? What is out there? Or like, what is really happening that this is affecting, our colors and the clouds and our atmosphere?
I found something yesterday. I was actually washing the car. We're washing cars in the middle of January in Denver, Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
And absolutely what looked to be a clear sky, Daisy. And as I was out there, I have these special sunglasses, and I looked up, and the darndest thing was going on. There, it looked like it was clear, but there was, in fact, a layer of what all I can describe is this very veiled, milky wisp.
Right. And that's what it is. It's a veil. It's a veil covering up whatever is really going on, whatever. And it's amazing because you think about the technology they have, right? And we think about the capabilities even in movies or things like that. So if they're projecting things in the sky or if they're covering things up with projections in the sky, I honestly sometimes am worried that they could probably control night and day at this point. You know, they could really probably do that if they wanted to. They could be like, guess what, it's nighttime now. Or, you know, or just be like, guess what, here's a bunch of airplanes. It's like, it's not an airplane, now it's gone.
If we can think it, we can do it.
Right, exactly. And if you've seen, you know, the 3D projections that they've shown, that they've created now, it's just like, it does look so real. They do it at, you know, festivals, they do it at the big concerts. It's like, it literally looks like it's above you and you could touch it. And
yeah,
you know, it's not real, and you're like, whoa. So it's worrisome.
The greasy skies, the one now that you've got the pastel colors, that's the one. You know, I see them now, and I've become, get this, it's like, oh yeah, look at I'm going, wait a minute, Steiger.
We're so desensitized to it now, right? We're just like, oh, it's oil in the sky that looks like an oil painting, and our universe is melting, and it's a simulation, but it's cool, you know.
It's cool. Yeah, it's like, all right. Now,
nothing to see here.
You see, I'm a proponent as well. Have you ever seen what appeared to be or look like a second sun in the horizon?
I have in person, yes.
Yes, I have too.
Honestly, I would not be a believer. I really don't think, unless I saw that myself. I really think, because before that point, I was like, I think it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true. And I want to show people that I believe in this or that this is how I'm feeling. But once I saw it, I was like, oh my God, you know, it is true. Like it was just reassurance that I was doing the right thing. And I wasn't just losing it. Like I wasn't, you know, because at first I was like, I think I might just be going crazy, or I'm stuck in some part of YouTube that I shouldn't have went to, you know, like when you're in that conspiracy zone and you just keep going too deep. And I really thought, I was like, I'm just going crazy. And once I started sharing it with my family, they were like, you know, they started to see the changes too. And they started agreeing and understanding and seeing. And I was like, okay, you know, reassurance. I'm not as crazy as I thought I was. I'm crazy, but not that crazy. So that's good. You know, just keeping the crazy in check.
Well, you're amongst friends here. So,
right. And I know others have seen it too, you know, even just images alone.
All right, so
and I know some of them are faked, but my gosh, you can't fake this many, you know.
9 News here in Colorado has done a tremendous job unknowingly. I have recorded more of a second object in the sky setting when the sun was setting about, the one that we recorded here was setting west northwest, and the sun was setting southwest. We also found a story today. Are you ready for this, Daisy? The Wichita Airport. Guess what, folks? When they build airports and runways, they build them at a specific degree of the Earth. Yes, exactly. Otherwise, the plane is going to be off somewhere. Guess what, right. Wichita, Kansas? You now have the honor of knowing that you're showing the tilt of the Earth that they are not reporting elsewhere. Daisy, the Earth is tilting because their runway is no longer in line.
No way.
Yes way.
Oh, that's kind of mind-blowing because I know that. I know for sure that airports have to be set up that way. I flew a lot. Well, you know, a few years ago, I was like flying all the time, it seemed like. So that's just.
Could you imagine landing in LaGuardia? I mean,
like, so confused.
I've been more than a few times where I thought, oh God, you know, here it goes. But
Right?
getting back to the second object that's out there, I mean, now, do I see it all the time? No. It
No,
seems like there's certain atmospheric conditions when it shows up. Is that what your observations have been?
absolutely. I agree with that. And I feel bad for those who shun this idea or just set it down when they say they don't see it, or they look up once for 5 seconds and claim they don't see it, or they don't do the research. It's like, if you just take a minute, like, I'm not trying to tell you the earth is flat, and that's just a joke. Everybody don't get mad. But,
Well, I know.
like, we're not, you're like, I know, everybody's so sensitive nowadays. Jeez, I am so on that boat. It's like, gosh, where's all the comedians go? We can't make jokes anymore. Right? Just,
Well, you can hear because we like to laugh.
right. Just breathe for a second. But yeah, it's like, how do you not even notice the clouds or the changes? Like the sun alone is a whole different color, for God's sakes. Why don't
And,
you see that? And for people that are even somewhat interested in the sky,
and then
they
here's
still.
what I challenge people when they come back to me with this. And I say, well, how often do you look up at the sky? And here's what people do. They'll go, I look at the sky all the time. I said, no. I asked you, how long do you look at the sky?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look up at it when I'm going out there. You can't help it when you're driving. No.
Right, you're not spending time out there. You're not actually spending time outside because your face is glued to your phone. I want to make people like this.
And that's we agree with that. I happen to agree with that. So, so one of the things, Daisy, that I use, and I just want to share this with people so you can actually see what I work with in. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So this is one of the best websites I've found. This is the one particularly model that I watch because this is what finally convinced me, and also in doing communications with Dr. Albers, that finally convinced me that this object, whatever it is having a negative influence not only on the earth. And by the way, Daisy, just so people who are seeing this for the first time, let me explain to you what's going on. This is plasma. This is how hot the space is out there. Normally, we like to see it down here in the blue color. This is typically where it comes in. So something's hitting and this is from the sun. So you can see what the effect is. So Daisy, this is the one what do you use other type of tools?
I use this one as well. I definitely have been keeping an eye on the magnetosphere. It's so important. It's so important. So that way we have a gist of at least, what's going on. It's just incredible because the lines are normally, it would just be straight, right? They would just be right like this right there. Yep.
And here's another one. By the way, we've got over 200 people in the chat room right now.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Yes. So here, as you can see, folks, so we have 0 sunspots. We are at the Mulder minimum, the minimum, supposed to stay that way, Daisy, I think, for another 2 years. So we have this anomaly taking place. And here, folks, to give you an understanding, these are satellites and these are the moons. You can see here's the moon. There's goes 15, 14, 13 is going bye-bye. It's died. We wish it well. It did a great service. Yes. And
I actually get choked up sometimes. I swear, when Cassini went, I was like, oh.
You see? God. We put life into these crafts. I mean, I think about the rover on Mars.
Yes, it breaks your heart a little bit, right?
It's like, darn it, man. So I digress, folks. But I'm going to get back into the conversation.
But I think that it's not just a negative effect on our Earth. I think it's a negative effect on our people. I think everybody, like we had stated, everybody's a little wound up and everybody's a little tight lately. And, it is like you really have to watch your jokes or be so considerate of everyone else around you, especially now. And I hope that people can calm down a little bit. I really do. I just want to spread the love and positivity and be like, yes, we're in a really messed up situation right now and life is strange, but we're here together and we can do this and we can get through it. And with, actual love and positivity, we can handle this. You can cope. There are ways to cope.
Now, I've postulated this. I actually postulated this to Dr. Albers, is that, all right, if we're moving through space, and if we're going in places that we have never been into, I postulated this, Daisy, that, you see, I think that maybe we're being impacted by a different type of energy in a different region of space that we haven't been in before.
I could agree with that. We're definitely seeing something. Has to be some variable.
Yeah.
Regardless, no matter what, something is changing. We recognize that. So what is the variable? And it very well could be we're headed into an area of space that we've just never gone before. And that's one thing that I stress too, is that if we're constantly going through space, we don't know. And same with the asteroids. Like I had made a video or a short segment of my video about that earlier, about Pantheon, that we heard so much about recently. Yes. It's like the most likely ones to hit us are asteroids in general. And it's not supposed to come anywhere near us again until like 2047, I think it was. But still, these are actual threats. These are, things that we do have to consider, even if, a big other planet isn't our biggest worry, or, something like that, causing these rifts in our everyday lives, even, it's just a ripple effect.
I think that, as I now understand, I didn't know this, Daisy, until about 8 months ago, that the Milky Way is in collision right now with the Sagittarius dwarfed ecliptical galaxy. There are now physicists who are theorizing that our solar system may not even belong to the Milky Way. This would bring Nibiru in.
Come on, we lost Pluto, and now we're kicked out of the.
Hey,
what is wrong with us?
It's a different world now, and
right.
Yeah, and so when I keep saying that I had Dr. Miller on last Friday night. He's going to be coming back. He loves this group here. He just said this is one of the best group of people that he has seen. But here's what he was pointing out. He says, if you think about it, he says a holographic universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he says the program can run any way that it wants to run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said that it is a virtual certainty, Daisy, that our sun has a binary twin.
I believe that. I really do. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's like 80 to 90% of all stars out there are binary, right? I'm pretty positive that's legit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ridiculous. It's more likely than not.
Yeah.
And if we look at the path of Pantheon, what did they say? It's at an elliptical orbit. That's very strange. And it's like, come on, know that there's a reason for this. Just say it. Why else would it be whipping around the way it is? What else would be pulling it so hard or causing that, or even putting it on that orbit in the first place? Something is flinging something at us. We just got the other one, besides Pantheon, that's coming from this elliptical orbit. You think It's got to be coming from somewhere, right?
Right. Well, I've contended that we've never fully examined, or have it ever been explained, the asteroid belt. I mean, that's a planet.
Mm-hmm.
The remnants of something out there. I mean, that is the remnant, and that is my contention, that we don't know what hit out there.
I full-heartedly agree with that. I definitely think it was a planet. I think that
something hit them.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
I don't know, folks. Now, I'm not being negative. I'm just saying.
Right. We're not. We're just. It's.
And then Jupiter. Jupiter is now theorized to be a failed star that failed.
Yes, I heard about that too. Yeah, or the Sumerians at times called Jupiter Planet X, which is
yeah.
So which one is it? And it's crazy because if Jupiter was a failed dwarf star, then that would be the binary star, right? And it'd just be like,
which would then put that Neptune and Uranus and the other planets would be more akin to a Jupiter, a Jupitonian orbit than old Sol. Because it's true, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Daisy, but Jupiter and the sun are actually like in this dance. They don't rotate around each other.
True.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that is what binary stars do. They do a dance. And if you guys have ever seen that video, it's beautiful. It's actually like, and that's something I'm stupidly get choked up about too. I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
No, I love that's genuine.
The universe is so amazing. And they do. They just swing around each other like they're dance mates. And you're like, it's like dancing through the galaxy. It's just awesome.
So, I watched that movie, the three women, the Black women that were instrumental in the space program back in Mercury and Gemini. Brilliant scientists, mathematicians, excuse me. And they were perplexed in trying to figure out the orbital decay of a Redstone rocket to the Atlas rocket. And here you had all of these PhDs, these mathematicians, these physicists looking at, here is this one woman who is a gifted, brilliant woman. She sees and understands math. You know what she said? What they found out the solution was, she said, we're looking at this wrong. I wonder, Daisy, if maybe we're looking at the solar system wrong.
There you go. It's like a video game, reroute. Just,
very good.
Just have to go about it a different way. If one way isn't working, then you have to go another route.
Well, the chat room is full here, Daisy. I don't know if you're looking at it. But
that's what I was peeking at. I just pulled it up on my iPad.
And again, the number 222.
Oh my gosh, that comes up for me all the time. That is my number.
It is. So 222. So
oh my goodness, that's so crazy because that is my one number, that comes up for me all the time.
It happens in this, by the way, folks, just to digress here a second, I'm going to do a shameless plug. So I've been thinking, Daisy, more and more about looking into starting a company and hiring nothing but empaths, psychics, and numerologists.
I'm right here.
Okay. All right. So I actually went out and acquired the URL today, spirittip.com.
Oh, there you go.
You get the idea?
Yeah, I like that.
People do the Briggs-Myers test all the time in corporate America because you want to get the psychological profile. What I'm saying, throw those things out. They're worthless. Yes. Let's come in here and bring in numerologists. Let's come in here and bring Reiki masters. Let's come in here and bring the seers, the astrologists. Let's start deciding how your company should be making decisions based upon where the stars are. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm all about it because what did the government do when they needed help? They brought in seers.
Hello.
Perfect. Right. Come on, people. And oh my gosh, sometimes I feel like it's a curse, to be an empath because I get around somebody and I won't even know their mood. And I'm just like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, why am I so angry?
And it's getting more intense, folks. I mean, Daisy, I was trying to get something done today. Now, I don't know what the problem was, but the energy coming off of the other end of the internet impacted me so much that it was like this psychic rush of this negativity. Actually gave me a headache. Oh,
I was going to say, do you ever get, I feel like a rush of energy and then it feels like slightly drunk, you know what I mean? Or like a sickness. And it's so powerful that you just have to sit there for a minute because you really do get dizzy and you're like, what just happened? I feel like, oh,
is it getting stronger for you or is it, I walked away and I went, what?
Right.
I think that this is what's happening. I think that we are in this place where things are changing. Again, I think it has to do with this energy that we've moved into a different region of space. So one other subject on Nibiru, because listen, folks, there is something out there. Daisy, would you agree with that? I don't know whether
Absolutely.
it's a
There's
planet.
something
I don't know
different.
whether it's a dwarf star. I don't know.
We can't tell you because we don't go to space, okay? If I went to space, I will let you know. But I can't make it to space right now unless I'm astral projecting myself up there, okay?
And if you do that, let us know, because this group would really follow. We would probably,
Well, I have a astral projection thing set up with Harmony for Thursday. So if I see anything, I will let you guys know, because we'll be doing that. It's going to be fun. But,
would you come back and let us know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited. He's good at that too. He's licensed and everything. He's a quantum healer and everything. So I'm super stoked. I've been meditating my whole life. I've been brought up on meditation and spirituality. And, when we got sick, we did like sweat lodges to get healthy and things like that. It was like all natural. So oh man, it's always just been more holistic with us here.
This is cool. I did not know that about how you saw that. By the way, you bring up a very good point about how our ancestors and even the shaman and the doctors, sweating out a sickness actually has a lot of medical foundation.
And so does our mind. Guess what, guys? You can heal yourself. Stop being like, don't think that you are not as strong as you are, because you are, and you are so powerful. People don't realize that you really
talk about it. Let's talk about it. I mean,
most of it is mental. It really is. And I know that sometimes it might not seem that it's mental and you might really feel these things. But if you portray something so much and you're like, I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I'll never be anything more than a failure. Then guess what, failure? You'll be a failure forever. But if you're like, I'm a champ. I'm a champ. I got this. I'm good. I've got, I'm healthy. I'm ready. I've got this. Then you're good. There's nothing wrong with listening to the, positivity videos or the meditations, because it is good to affirm that you are a badass. There's nothing wrong with being a badass, or being able to heal yourself. I just think that people don't, I don't know, they don't understand or see how special they really are. And a lot of people are so busy with the day-to-day, the drama, the negative. People are constantly searching for negative because we're in survival mode right now. Everybody's just trying to survive. So you look for the negative to stay safe. You can be happy and be okay. Like, you're allowed to be okay. Just so everybody knows, you can be okay.
It's okay to be okay.
Right.
Were you part of our mirror awareness project?
I'm not sure. Was I?
Last Thursday, 200, and I believe the count that YouTube gave me was 227 people. We did an experiment of mirror gazing.
Nice. And you know what? And that's what it was. We both did a video. I think it was even the same day about the scrying. And yes. I was like, oh my gosh, I just did this too. It's so strange that we were both, talking about that at the same time. Because I was saying how Nostradamus did this. Just so everybody knows, if you didn't know that, who was the first person to really scry and give us answers? Nostradamus. And what did he use? A black mirror. So, and it's just funny that the series Black Mirror is just, taken off now because of it. But I don't think these things are evil. And I know that some people might be getting a little worked up or like worrisome at times, but there is positivity to everything. There's bad and good with everything. So when you think spirituality and you think the new age movement, don't think the negative of this is the new world order. Think the positive of we are loving and this is a more pure future,
You are right. By the way, folks, do you see this? I just wanted to show you this, Daisy. These are testimonies, folks, from you. There is 37 of them here from you, Daisy. Not one negative experience in here. I mean, I have people who have written me, and by the way, I'm reading these just to let you know. So what I have concluded, Daisy, and it's kind of the general consensus out there as well, is that we're going to do this again because we feel that we opened up. There was an energy.
I bet you felt so good. I bet you felt it
Did.
right in
We
your heart.
did. And it was palatable the next day.
It's just, you know, like,
Well, talk to me about this. You seem to have a little knowledge on this. I like this.
I've just, like I stated, you know, I've been meditating and everything for a long time. So I know that meditating in numbers gives you better results. I've done that multiple times. You know, I even have like certificates in these things, you know, because when I was growing
Excellent.
up, I just took it so seriously and I was like, I love it. But yeah, it definitely gives you better results meditating in numbers, because not only are you healing yourself, but they're healing you too. And you're healing each other, and you're giving that positive, loving energy to one another. It's like doing yoga together. You know what I mean? You're working out your body, but it's really your mind, and you're sharing that experience together. So it's definitely a positive, good thing. And I'm definitely going to be a part of the next one. I would
All
love
right,
to.
good. I'd
So
love to
cool.
have you on our panel.
Yeah,
We
that'd be
actually have a
great.
panel. So you just have affirmed in your one sentence this thing what we have been doing here collectively, and you didn't even know. So this is just amazing. And I know we're talking about Nibiru and how all of this is, but you know, I think that even the subject itself is what kind of led me to begin to question other things.
Yes. Oh
And if
yeah.
there's anything for that, I take value, and that alone, it was worth the study that I did.
I agree with that. I think it definitely opened the door for me. I mean, I was always, like I said, into the documentaries and everything, and I would always watch them on TV on the History Channel and think I was so smart, right? And then you see how much more there is to it, and you're like, History Channel, you did me wrong. That's not
Oh
how that
no!
happened, you know, with
You
certain,
mean they actually lied to us?
right? I know, on television, that programming that I trusted so deeply was my childhood.
What?
I know. So once you really start learning you know, like I said, the reality of our situation, you can't help but then question everything, you know, because it's like, then it's everything's a conspiracy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Everything.
And then you spend
So
six
funny.
months backing out of the whole conspiracy, and you go, oh, whoa, 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 wait a minute, wait a minute.
You're like, do I need a break? Do I need to check myself? Do
Yeah,
I go to the hospital?
because I never really took the study on the science level of what, as Dr. Miller was showing, of the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I'm like you. I watched PBS back in the 90s on the string theory.
Mm-hmm.
And, here I'm looking at this and trying to, all right, so we have separate realities that are basically protected by a membrane. And although they may brush up against each other, they can't interact with each other, because then you would have basically a quantum collapse.
Right.
Okay. Well, now where we are is that, and I think that I have evidence. I'm going to a point with here, Daisy, is that we exist in a multiverse where the very real possibility is that our timeline has been changed, which, if we believe of what the D-Wave computer is capable of been doing, and they apparently are very proud of it, of bringing
They admit it.
substance, they are, from an alternate reality. So here's my point. I've captured planets outside over the Rocky Mountains. I've got the videos. You go back in my library and you'll see it. What did we capture there? I think we captured the fact that we could coexist with other spheres.
There you go. There you go. I like that. I like looking at it like that. Because it's hard, because there's so many different ways we could look at this, you know? And there's so many different theories out there, like the whole hollow earth theory and Agartha or Atlantis, or the fact that the earth is bigger than we think. And maybe that's why, you know, everybody thinks it's flat, because it's not actually flat. It's just bigger than they tell us. And there's other sections. And one of the things that really gets me is like, who does have the power to summon everyone to Antarctica? And why is Antarctica one of those hands-off places? How is that possible? Since when did everybody agree on one thing? Never. This has never happened. So why is it with Antarctica? You know what I mean? But I have my suspicions about the ISS and NASA. You know,
What do you think? Do you think that the hollow Earth actually is? I happen to believe in the hollow Earth.
I do too. I do too. I think Agartha is down there. I think that there is something in there, and I think that they have their own source of light. I do believe that, and I want it to be true. You know what I mean? There's certain things where I'm like, I just want this one to be true, please.
Well, number one, they can't prove to us that the Earth is a solid core. That's just a theory. No one has gotten that far down.
Right.
I think that there is, in fact, a hollow Earth. I mean, the whole series I did, Daisy, I did a whole documentary, a video series called the Bloodline Invaders series about who was jacking with us. And I come to some pretty remarkable conclusions. My conclusion was they sold us out. Someone of our race sold us out. As a result, okay.
I agree with this. I definitely believe that our DNA has been tampered at one point or another. It has to have been. It has to. You wouldn't have people like me. You wouldn't have the O negative, RH negatives. And that's, you know, what I am. I just happen to be one of those. And it's funny that, you know, being an empath too, or I've seen some really weird things, you know what I mean? And it's like some things that I wish I would have never seen. And people are like, you have such a gift. And I'm like,
you didn't quite see it that way, did you?
You don't know. You have no idea what this brings, you know? And people think I'm crazy, but it's like, no, I really like, I think one of the weirdest ones I saw was like the shadow figure. I swear to you, I saw a shadow figure and it was like probably like 5'8", like my height, right? And I was talking to it and it was like in a dark room and I had my iPad and was my only light. And I'm like talking to this thing. And as soon as I get up, it's gone. And I was like, oh my Lord. Am I tripping? Like, did I eat mushrooms on my pizza? Like, is there something? I didn't have any wine. So what is happening? You know, like, am I just confused? No, I didn't take any sleeping medication. So I don't know. It's just, you see some really weird things. And there's no doubt our DNA has had to have been messed with. It's had to have. Just if you look at all the junk DNA and the DNA that we use, it's like, what if we were using all of it? You know, or like, what if we used all our brain? It would be amazing.
If we could actually do that, I agree.
Right. Oh, it would be insane if the things we could know, or you know what I mean? I really believe that we are powerful beings and that we are so much more powerful than anybody realizes. More people need to be proud of that. And, you know, also not be as sensitive and take responsibility and put away the victim card and be proud and be strong. And you know what I mean? Own up to what you need to own up to in life. Forgive who you need to forgive and just kick ass. That's all you got to do.
I like that philosophy. And, you know, listen, it's better than a philosophy. It's a way of life.
Way to go. I've been living.
I mean, I've been telling people, listen, I see shadow figures all the time, but this is what I tell them. If I don't want you here, and as I told one this morning, and I said, you've got exactly 10 seconds to get out. I didn't give you permission to be here. This is something that this group is starting to learn, Daisy, is that by taking authority of the spirit realm while we're in the body, that makes us unique. They're not in the body.
Oh, yeah. That's
we are.
So true.
Yeah. And
I do the same thing. You have to take control and say, you can't be here. Or like, you know what I mean? You really have to tell them what to do, or, you know, whether or not you want to deal with them or not. There's definitely times where I'm like, not now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just spiritually drained. I can't deal with this extraterrestrial-ish right now. Or this 5D-ish right now. Or, you know, and then other days I'm like, talk to me, you know, like give me a sign or give me advice or give me a download. Give me something so I, you know, stop going crazy. Or give me this.
What if it's the fact that if we could start forming this community the way I envision us going, it seems to be heading that direction, is that, could you imagine that we would be a group that would advance our telepathic skills Listen, thank you, Daisy. You just set off a download for me. Think about this, Daisy. What if we began collectively testing each other, training each other in our psychic abilities, bringing more and
Mm-hmm.
more empaths together, intuitives,
Open that third
and
eye.
think about this. We could then begin to do battle with the mind coitus that they've been doing to us.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I agree with it. And I think, another thing is technology too. If we were to use technology with spirituality in mind, do you know what that means? Like, that would be such a better future and such a brighter tomorrow than where we're headed with the technology where they want to go and with the technology where we want to go. You know what I mean? We want to just be zen and be peaceful and enjoy each other and have a happy life. We're not trying to blow nobody up. We're just trying to enjoy each other. We don't want to hurt nobody. We're not trying to make anything crazy. Just spiritual. Just if we could go forward with that in mind, I think that it would make a big difference.
You're just giving me so much encouragement. I tell you what I like about you, Daisy.
That's
You
good.
edify, and that is a gift. Edification is something that we so desperately need amongst ourselves. And I like how you look at it, how I look at it. I look at every one of the people in here in the chat room tonight and the ones that will listen to this. They are good people. They are good souls, Daisy.
I
And
can see that. They're really sweet. I can see how funny they are.
they are. And this is a type of group of people who, if the proverbial sky began to fall down, this is the group I'd want to be with because we'd survive it.
Yes, yes. And you know what? We would be the ones to survive. And I always say that too. Oh gosh, that's so funny because that's exactly how I put it. I say, I'm the one that makes it. I'm the one that makes it. And I know it. I just have that feeling. I am going to make it. I will survive. And you know what? I have a bug out bag and I have one for my baby too. I have a 2-year-old and I'm ready. And if I had to throw him on my back and get booking, you best believe we survive. Both of us, we make it. And you too, we would
Yeah,
be
I mean, listen, I got mine. It's like this. I don't need a religious cause or a cause. It's just good common sense.
right. Just just
You
being a
know?
good person, right? Like
Yeah.
wanting to help your neighbor or, respect your elders or help someone across the street. Like I still can't help but do these things or open the door for somebody. You know what I mean? It's like just be freaking nice. Make someone smile. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost anything. And they'll remember that all day. And then they'll have a good day all day because they'll think of that little bit of smile they had, because
And I
everybody's
contend that when this thing in the heavens appears, whatever is going to happen, we know something is going to happen. When it
mm,
does, I believe we will be those lights that people will be coming and say, how are you remaining calm? How are you doing it?
right. Yep. Have you ever seen the movie Melancholia?
I don't think I have.
Okay, well, it's about an asteroid that's coming to Earth, and it's conveniently about a woman and her child and her sister, and they just sit on the hill and they wait for it.
They
They
wait for
just wait for it. They see
okay.
it coming, and they sit there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! If I really got to that point, I might be that person that's just like, let's do it. Come on." Like, you know what I mean? The guy on 2012, Woody Harrelson or whatever, when
Yeah.
he's just like, bring it on.
I remember that. Well,
Right?
I've looked. So I'm glad we're having this conversation, and boy, the hour's just flown by. But Daisy, I got to say this: one of the things that this group has taught me, what I have learned as I've meditated and grown, is that I don't fear death.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so with you.
it's like
I'm good.
there you go. I love this life. This is the coolest thing. I know
Mhm.
now part of the journey. I really do. I figured that out. And so the thought of death is like, all right, hey, I can dig it. It's the next thing on.
It's
But
just so funny because when you get to that point, it's just like, I've had a good run.
and it makes you more calm. It
Right. And
does.
it's not to scare anybody either. You know what I
No,
mean? For those of you who
no.
are listening, don't think that that's, something to get upset about or scary or anything, because it's a comfortable place to be in, man, to know that you had did your life good and you loved who you loved, and and you enjoyed life and it was good. I totally feel the same way. I was like, if this happens, I'm good. I know
You
that I'm
see,
good. I know I'm going somewhere good. I know that what's waiting for me is going to be awesome, because this was awesome, and it's just,
that's what I'm
I think
talking
it's just
about.
another level up. I feel like I'm just leveling up when I
Well,
leave.
you're a part of this community, Daisy. I just want to tell you,
Well, thank you so much. And I'm
we
so glad
just
that you were
we
able to have
love you. This is the type of thing, folks. We can talk about the most out of bound subjects. Nibiru.
me.
I mean, come on, folks. Planet X. I mean, this is the destroyer that comes through that turned children's hair white, that emptied the bowels of all who saw it arising in the eastern sky. And as its breath went across, yeah, I can go and quote it to you.
Mhm.
I mean, and that crap will scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, and
Pardon
then
me for
Wormwood
saying crap.
Gushers and the waters were poisoned and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Wormwood, come on, guys! Like that is, they don't bring about it in a very plush way, do they?
No, it's a mind coitus any way you look
Yeah,
at it. It is.
they do. It is a very. There's no like kids introduction to Wormwood. Here's the planet. It wasn't invited. Goodbye, Wormwood. You shouldn't be here. But here it comes anyways.
It's I love this, folks. I mean, well, everyone is telling you, Daisy, you're just full of energy. People are
Yes,
loving you.
I told
Davy.
him when I came on too. I'm like a hyper puppy. I can't help it. I get in my little ways, but I'm so glad that everybody has enjoyed. And I'm
Listen,
blessed to be here. And I can't wait to do the mirror thing. I'm ready. I'm ready to do some scrying.
okay. All right. So I'm going to put you on the panel. Jennifer Collins is on there, Sandra D, and Suji. I
Oh,
think you
cool.
guys will just be absolutely great. Come
Yeah.
on, guys. We need some of the guys to step up. All
Yeah,
right.
man. Let's do some scrying. Don't be
Come
scared.
on. Can't let all the
Just look in
women,
a mirror. Grow your
we.
beard out, and so you can just be proud of your man beard, okay? And then you can just worry about that. You can look at all the food in your beard the whole time, or like whatever you want to do.
You see.
What else? We could put something in the back of the mirror, so we'll get the men to look. We'll put like cardboard cutouts, that'll bring them. I'm just coming up with ideas.
Hey, listen, is this not like a shot of breath? Daisy, hey, you're going to
I'm loving the positivity, though. I am. I'm loving all
it's
this.
tangible.
You guys are so
It truly
sweet.
is. It
And
is.
highly, for those Milky Way, I think Milky already left, but Slightly Slanted Sleuth. Oh my gosh, I adore you. So thank you for being
Well,
here.
and speaking
I
of
really
that, Steve will be on tomorrow night.
Ooh, I'll
So
be here then.
tune in. Looking
Yeah,
forward.
for
He
sure.
has some great footage, by the way, Daisy, of the moon that is
Ooh,
really going to go whoa.
I love going whoa. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like whoa.
So whoa is good. Whoa is like not whoa is me, but whoa.
Yeah,
Now I
like
feel like
whoa.
I'm Bonds, dating myself. Well, as they would say, Miss Daisy, it has been a complete hour.
Yeah, driving Miss Daisy. We did good.
No, you know what I felt like we've been on? We took a little time journey because I swear it seems only like 5 minutes ago.
Right, yeah, the like old friends, like we're old chums here. We're all old chums, just having a good old time.
I'm going, what?
Yeah, I hope we pop some buttons tonight from all the giggling. I hope that somebody had to they have to re-sew their shirt now because they just had that deep belly giggle.
Listen, I think we gave more than a couple of people some good belly laughs. I've seen it here.
Yeah.
They were laughing. So we're going to get Jennifer. How you doing? 200 plus people in here, and we're having to say goodbye because I like to keep it at an hour.
Good.
I go by the adage, Jennifer. Typically, if the butt goes numb, the mind is going to follow. But I see that. Do you stand? Because that's a great way. I have a standing desk as well.
You think I'm standing?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just
you're
really
sitting.
tall. I'm freakishly tall. I'm just in a really tiny room. No,
Now I know. Now I know.
yes,
So,
I'm in a dollhouse. So just so you guys know, that's where I live.
oh, well, everyone in here just loves you. Thank you for coming on. We're going to have you back. Is there anything you'd like to say? Now, number one, I want to say this. Go and subscribe to her channel. I left the link below, and definitely go do that. You're going to have eventually a website for your artwork.
Yes,
Right.
the artwork is going to be on the website soon, and I do have a gallery I'm working in right now. I do the YouTube videos, so I would love to have anybody that wants to come over and subscribe. That would be so amazing. You guys have been great, and you're so sweet. I do love your group. You know, it's so nice to have a very active, very fun group, and they're also nice. So it's definitely subscribe.
They are nice.
Better than
They
haters.
are. You know, and
And I've
listen.
had a lot of fun.
You know, well, thank you, Daisy. You know, one of the things that I told the people here is that, you know, we've got to promote each other.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah,
I'm the
and
same way with, Matt Rogers and all the others and A7 Spalding. I love him. I love Seven, if you see this, I love you. And for all the others, it's just a really cool community, and there's a lot of really good hearts in here. So don't be afraid, guys, to come see me and hang out. And definitely we need to spread the word and spread the community and spread the love and positivity.
good. And I'll come on your channel. We'll
Yes,
promote it. We'll get you out
absolutely.
there.
Well, I'll get you out there.
And I'm going to introduce you to others. I think that people like Rex Bear and others would just, you're the type of energy that is beginning to grow. I can look at the names of the people in this chat room, not all of them, but a good deal of them. And I can tell you, Daisy, this is growing. So we'd like to sow into your channel. And as that continues to proliferate, that's how we get stronger.
Absolutely. I agree.
Good deal. Well, folks, it has been just an absolute delight having you in here. Keep yourself warm. We appreciate you. Be kind to someone. In fact, my motto, as you know, is do an act of kindness that no one knows about. If we could start doing that, Daisy, I'll tell you what, we would change the face of this earth within 6 months.
I agree. Do a secret prank of kindness. Do something very silly.
I like that. You are just delightful. I mean, wow, man. All right, folks, all the best to you. Daisy, stay on once I get off, and we will see you all tomorrow morning. Let me just say this. I'll be on with Trisha G for our European audience show. So I'm looking with Trisha, and then she'll be back on. I think we're trying to get her back on at the end of the week. Daisy, I'd like to get you back on as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, folks, be kind to one another. We will talk real soon. Thank you.